Absolutely incredible, absolutely ridiculous. The FA have reviewed the incident between Andrew Robertson and the linesman last Sunday and have decided that there will be no further action. I think this is a disgrace. You know, I have been very vocal about the standard of officiating in this country, in the Premier League this season, and I think this is the icing on the cake. I think it's an absolute joke the way they've dealt with this, and yet again evidences what I and many others believe, that this refereeing association and the FA around officiating, especially in the Premier League, is out of control and is actually just self-serving to protect each other. It's an absolute joke. And I'll get into it because, to be honest with you, I don't think what the linesman did was particularly wrong, but I just think the way it's been dealt with by the FA and the Referees Association is completely and utterly arrogant and contradictory. If that was a player who did, if Andy Robertson went up to a player and grabbed someone on the arm and they flicked an arm around like that, red card, 5-match ban, 100%. So tell me what the difference is. You've got people out there talking on national radio and on Sky and everything going, well, at the end of the day, I think it's the right decision. I think it's the right decision because it's about, you know, he didn't mean to do it and all this nonsense. I can't believe the contradiction here. If you are somebody that thinks the linesman shouldn't get a ban or anything like that, and I've got nothing against the linesman, to be honest, it's far bigger than the linesman and Andy Robertson. But if you believe that they shouldn't get a ban because it's about respect for referees and linesmen, he's thrown his elbow up like that. If someone grabs my arm, I don't go like that, high up with my elbow. I go, get off. You go sideways. You don't go up like that. Andy Robertson's not got him in an arm lock. He's just touched his arm and he's gone up like that. The linesman himself has even apologised for it. What is really disgusting is the fact that you've got a situation where Mitrovic quite rightly got sent off for pushing a referee and then he got an 8-match ban. It should have been a 3-match ban. He didn't push the referee over. He didn't do a judo throw. He didn't slap him round the face. He pushed him a little bit. It should have been a 3-match ban. And the reason for it is you've got to send a strong message that you can't put hands on an official. You can't do that. And I get that completely. But then a couple of weeks later, a linesman petulantly throws his elbow up in the air. Oh, we won't take any further action. It's the contradiction. It's the one rule for another and not for another. Now, people will hide behind, we've got a problem with grassroots officiating. It's about respect for officials. Of course it is. 100% it is. But what we're talking about here is Mitrovic pushes a referee. You send the nation a message you can't touch a referee. An official throws an arm in the air that catches someone in the face, and you're basically saying it was an accident. That's not. I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable. And you know as well as I do, because we've seen rubbish decisions all week, all weekend, every weekend. If a player did that, it's going to VAR. And God, I'm sneezing. I don't know why. It's going to VAR, and he's going to get sent off, and he's probably going to get an increased ban. Andy Robertson's got a part to play in this, of course he has. But you know what the scariest thing of all is? Everyone's forgotten about Fulham. Everyone's forgot about Brighton. Brighton last weekend were cheated out of 3 points against Spurs. It's forgotten. Who's in charge of all that? The referees and the FA. It's forgotten. Sorry. We're sorry we've screwed you over numerous times this season. How do you think Brighton feel? How do you think Arsenal feel? How do you think Manchester United feel? How do you think Fulham feel? How do you think everybody feels when they are victim of complete and utter incompetence? And then when there's actually something that needs to be done, evidentially, that the whole footballing world has seen, they sweep it under the carpet and go, no further action. I'm not saying that linesman doesn't regret it. I'm not saying he was trying to elbow Andy Robertson, but at the end of the day, he's massively overreacted to somebody touching his arm. You don't need to throw your arm in the air like that. Give Andy Robertson a ban. Give Andy Robertson a ban. Give him a game ban for touching the referee, and give the linesman, and give the linesman a couple of games as well. I think people are arguing about this on radio and on media and saying, well, look, at the end of the day, Andy Robertson shouldn't be touching the linesman and he's just naturally reacted like that. I agree with that. Andy Robertson shouldn't touch the linesman. There should be respect for linesmen and referees. The amount of players that are, congregating around referees at the moment is, maybe it is too many. But that's got nothing to do with what's happened here. That is a national game between Liverpool and Arsenal, the biggest game of the weekend. and everybody's talking about it right before half time. The linesman has caught the player in the face by going like that. You can't have that on a pitch. You can't have that on a football pitch. It's not acceptable. And the reality is, we're back with that word consistency. I don't think it's enough for Andy Robertson to be running around going, oh, he's hit me in the face. It's not WWE. But at the end of the day, Andy Robertson could have done a lot worse. Harry Kane fell on the floor clutching his face because he got an eyelash out of place. Andy Robertson did get caught in the chin. Imagine if Andy Robertson had gone down like Harry Kane. They'd have had a whirlwind there. If anything, the FA and the Referees Association and that linesman should be bloody grateful that Andy Robertson didn't do what some footballers do on the pitch and gone down clutching his face, because he could have done it. Let's be honest, he could have done it, and then they're in a world of pain. So, if anything, they need to be grateful to Andy Robertson that he didn't over-egg the pudding. But really, I'm not interested in the power in the way of what he's done. The reality is, I think the linesman's been petulant, and I think he knows he has. He's probably had enough of Andy Robertson in his ear. He's heard him coming over. He's touched his arm, and he's frustrated. He's gone, get off me, and as he's gone, get off me, he's caught him in the face. That's not the behaviour befitting of an official. But more importantly, I don't want to get lost down on whether you think that's enough for a ban or not. We're looking at the bigger picture here. The thing that's frustrated me, and I think is a disgrace, is how the benefit of the doubt is given to, surprise, surprise, an official. Oh, he didn't mean it. Oh, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But Casemiro's red cards, Mitrovic's eight match ban, Arsenal's, line, Brighton's, absolute VAR mess all season will come down on you like a ton of bricks. Oh, if you surround our referees because you want a penalty, we'll give you a £65,000 fine. But if a linesman does what he did to Andy Robertson, oh, well, it's one rule for the one and one rule for the other. And that's what annoys me, because I'm very annoyed with the Referees Association and the FA this season. I think they have shat all over the best season we've had in years with their total and utter incompetence. And yet here there is a clear and defined incident that everybody saw, where actually they should be doing a bit of housekeeping, and they've swept it under the carpet and said we're not going to do anything. I think that's a disgrace. I can understand people saying, well, it wasn't severe enough, it was an accident, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone grabs my arm, I'm not going to start, putting some deodorant on. I don't know why his arm's gone so high, but at the end of the day, I understand it wasn't deliberate. I understand it was an overreaction. I understand he's regretful. But is not any player regretful when they put a tackle in that they didn't mean to do and it's reckless? At the end of the day, Casemiro served a 4-match ban for winning the ball, but being a little bit out of control. At the end of the day, there's no deliberate intent to hurt the player. He's trying to win the tackle. This linesman, there's no deliberate intent to elbow Andy Robertson, but he's thrown his arm recklessly in the air in an exaggerated situation. And people want consistency. And all we keep getting every week is, if officials in this country make mistakes, whether it's drawing the lines, offsides, not giving penalties, or throwing random arms in the air, they will be protected, because that is what's happened all season. But if a player does it, we will throw the book at you and we will go at you. And that is what I find disgraceful. It's the way that things are being done in this country. It's nepotism, it's protection, it's a dictatorship. We will protect our own and we will throw everyone under the bus. It's one rule for one and one rule for another. And I'll tell you what, throughout history, that's not a good look. And they've made a mistake this week. They had a massive opportunity where they could have said to the linesman, look, you've made a mistake. We're not going to sack you. We're just going to take you out until the end of April. Then you'll be back. You've served your punishment. That's it. We've got to be fair and even. If a player does that, we're going to give him a 3-match ban. That's all they had to do. And what do? They do what they always do. Sweep it under the carpet and protect themselves. Get your comments in below. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe.